Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Justin from Symmetry of Motion, and today we are going to talk about what is the best way to sit, or the most effective way to sit to prevent issues with your posture. If you do your research, you're going to find all different kinds of best practices when it comes to sitting. You'll also find a lot of different products, like different types of chairs. The whole world of ergonomics can have you spending upwards of $10,000 just to find the right chair to help you with maybe chronic pain or other issues that you're having with sitting. But the reality is, what we know now is that how you sit is completely irrelevant when it comes to the problems from sitting. The reality is that it is not how we sit, but the fact that we are stuck in one position for such extended periods of time on a regular basis. So when you hear this, the first thing that you might be thinking is, well, should I just get up and go for long walks and move more in between sitting? And yeah, if you can make that happen, ideally that would be really great. The problem is that when it comes to posture, when it comes to the sitting posture, you take your posture with you wherever you go. So if you've been sitting for an extended period of time, those mechanics are going to be brought with you to walking, and that's going to cause problems when it comes to the actual movement that you're going to. So I have two different solutions that I'm going to talk to you today about that can help you with this problem. The first thing, I know that I'm telling you that how you sit does not matter, but I will say that if there was a slightly more beneficial way that you might have less problems when it comes to sitting, it would be this. The common thing that ends up happening is slouching into the chair, not so much with the upper body, but with the pelvis itself. And what I mean by that is that the pelvis tucks underneath, and you're no longer sitting on the sit bones, you're actually sitting on top of the tailbone and causing this big round and stress and pressure in the lower back. So instead, what we want to do is not adjust the upper body and force the upper body straight, because again, this is going to exhaust the muscles of the back, and that's going to cause other issues. What we want to do instead is we're going to move from the pelvis, not from the upper body, and we're going to tip the pelvis forward. That is, using the hips to move the pelvis forward so that we have a little arch in this lower back. And from that point, I'm going to slide back into the crevice of the chair. So now I'm sitting on my sit bones and the back of the chair is supporting. But notice what happens when I tip my pelvis forward, it actually affects my upper body also. So by moving from the pelvis, I'm actually creating a slightly better position here. And once you get to this point, you can just leave it. Do your work, whatever you need to do. You don't need to fidget and find other ways to sit. Just stay on your sit bones. The next thing we're going to talk about is the most effective way to combat sitting. The key to improving this is with movement. But like I said, you can't just get up and move and do anything, because you're taking your sitting posture with you. So what we need to do is reverse engineer what's actually happening in the body so that we can use the right movements to help create balance within the body. So the first thing we're going to do is stand up out of our chair. We're going to take our hands, curl the tips of the fingers, and bring these knuckles up to the sides of the head by the temples. Keep this grip really locked, and what we're going to do is touch our elbows together and bring them all the way back, forward and back. And we're going to do this 25 times. Keep your feet pointed straight, your stomach relaxed. This is going to help change and move that upper back position where that rounded compensation is taking place. So the second and last thing we're going to do, if you can do this, you can get onto the floor, just move over to the side and shift onto our hands and our knees. And we're going to go ahead and move the body in 3 different ways. Starts at the pelvis, then the back and the shoulders, and then the head. First thing we're going to do is tuck the pelvis underneath using the butt muscles and the ab muscles. That's one. The second thing, round the back and separate the shoulders. That's the second thing. That's 2. Number 3, let the head drop all the way. From here, we're going to go ahead and move again. Same order, but the opposite direction. Starting with 1, we're going to move the pelvis, tipping it forward. The second thing, we're going to arch the back and let the shoulders come together as the chest sinks down towards the ground. And number 3, we're going to let the head come all the way up. So it moves like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The pelvis always goes first, the midsection goes second, and the head always goes last. So there you go. If you do this, what I call a pattern disrupt from sitting, you can do this as many times as you want throughout the day. I promise it's going to give you significant benefits compared to how you sit in the chair.